Welcome to Terrestrial Nomad.
The podcast.
Yes, welcome.
Podcast. That intro took way too long to start.
Yeah, but we
For those
did
of you listening, it took us 5 minutes to figure out how we were going to introduce this episode.
Yeah, just leave us a comment if it was good, just let us know.
Shepard, can you say something again?
Say something again. Oh, that was a little bit louder.
Well,
than
yeah.
normal
Then
talking.
just
All right,
speak a little louder than you would normally speak.
Yeah, just... Okay, so how are we now? Are we reading good?
Welcome. Welcome. I was going to say pedestrian.
I know.
But real loud.
Pedestrian Nomad.
I don't know why I was wanting to say pedestrian nomads.
We kind of are pedestrians, but on a trail.
Sometimes we're pedestrians when we're crossing roads.
We are pedestrians for sure.
For sure.
In both senses of the word.
Yeah.
Terrestrial pedestrians.
Terrestrial pedestrians.
Terrestrial pedestrians.
Hemplick, I'm out of shit tickets. Please give me shit tickets.
Rick. So this is what we've been doing. Oh yeah.
I don't think
So
we
to
touched
clue you in,
bases on that at all.
Sorry for my long delay in recording, but
Long delay in recording, we're like bang bang, dude.
Bang bang.
This is the day after.
there was like none
Last day
on
recording.
the Wonderland.
What's that?
I don't think we recorded on the Wonderland.
You did in your tent that really rainy day.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
had
did.
nothing else to do. It was just that. What campsite was that? That was at.
It was
Carl
before South Mowich. I forget the name.
It was
of
Mowich Lake.
Mowich Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that
And then we
sounds
were at the
right.
The one where you
Fork
got
Mowich.
puddled out.
Yeah.
We left at.
No,
5
No,
no,
that
a.m.
was Paradise.
That was
Well,
Paradise,
he did
yeah.
a podcast in his tent then too.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember
there you go.
because I listened.
Podcasted
Well,
from the
so
Wonderland.
then
I couldn't
anyone,
hear what
they
you
already
said,
know
but I
that.
knew.
anyone who's listening probably like already then they
Yeah.
would be like, yes, duh, we heard
Yes.
you. Then.
Yeah. So sorry.
But I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
The person speaking is the Jesus.
Yep.
He's been mentioned on the podcast. First time talker.
That's
Jesus,
me.
this is your
Long-time
first
listener.
time on the
This
on
is
the
my
podcast?
first time on
The
the
last time we
podcast.
all recorded was right before.
Hey, welcome to the Jesus.
Thank you, thank you.
Like
The
literally,
Jesus is here.
last time we recorded, I turned it off, and we're like, "Is that the Jesus?"
It's right after Goldmine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right after.
Oh
the
yeah, after it was that one lake.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It felt like the Sierras.
Yeah, that was a
that spot.
really sick
Super
one.
frosty morning.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
Made for
frosty.
some cool pictures. for sure.
Yeah, I got way too many pictures of that.
Yeah, you did take a lot. They're good ones. I saw you. I went through your camera last night.
I did 30 miles to catch you guys.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
30 miles. I'm so
With a
glad.
90-pound pack.
Yeah, with
When was the last?
No, come on,
Pounds
come
on
on.
13 pounds.
Really?
What was it then?
Okay, so
it was probably
Hold
like
on, hold
50
on.
pounds when we
the
saw
Jesus,
him.
you did 30 miles
Yeah.
to catch up to us,
Yes.
and since then, how many
Yeah.
times would you say you've done over 10?
None.
0.
Not once.
How many
since
hours
about
have you
30.
Doing
Yes.
30 is
Yeah.
nothing.
How many hours have you been completely packed up, ready to go, and just kind of hanging around?
You're like,
Dude, there's been a couple times. There has been a couple times. But I remember the first question I got asked. Are you ready to chill hard?
Yeah, no.
We
Yeah.
did
Are
ask you
you ready to
We
chill
we
hard?
really
We weren't sure if
reinforced
you
that
were ready to
question.
commit either.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
totally
think you
were.
were. I don't think you guys were. You're like,
I don't think you were ready,
Jesus,
though.
dude, he does high miles. Like, he's
Yeah.
not going to
No,
want to chill.
Jesus
No, there
chilled right along
For
with us.
someone to go from
Well-
30 to like this is, I mean,
know-
that's talented. That's such range, dude.
It is.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was.
that-
A
that
dynamic
part is-
hiker.
Amazing
meet a
for
good
sure,
group
but
of
You
people.
definitely had like, I'd say the first like 2 or 3 days, you definitely had that like itis. Like really, like we're not okay.
We're not hiking.
We're
No,
chilling,
yeah.
but
I
I don't know
feel
that I
that.
have enough food for this. Like,
I definitely
hey
didn't.
guys,
I definitely
like I was
didn't.
supposed to be getting to town tomorrow. like 3 days
We're
ago.
Dude, Dad's got you covered.
Yeah,
Dad
yep.
had you covered.
Yeah,
Thank God.
dude, the paw provided
Pa
on that
always.
stretch, like, so unbelievable.
Hey, but the Jesus is back
Well,
in
I also
force
had an
now. He's
absurd
carrying 60 pounds out of town.
Yeah.
60 pounds.
No water.
I weigh
Was
up.
that 60 with no water?
That was 60 dry, dude.
That's
yeah.
absurd.
Oh, for some reason I thought you had like 2 Gatorade things full of water.
No.
Fuck, dude. So you got 65 maybe with water?
Probably.
Fuck yeah.
First time though. First time. But I'm happy and my legs
Can I
are
get another
strong.
beer?
You know.
That's all that matters.
Maybe I don't need one.
Yes. you
Actually,
need
no.
more.
Yeah, you do.
I
you
could
do.
probably
No,
go
I meant
for
like I thought
Here.
I had one, but
Beer
I
over
don't.
to Herro, please.
Should we stay where we're at?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Guys.
on trail.
Yeah.
Live.
We are
Back on
finally on
trail.
trail.
What mile are we at?
Pacific Crest.
Half a mile from
109.
Stevens Pass.
No, we're a mile.
All right, a mile.
We did a mile?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Coming out.
We
of
had
town,
an
it's
18
so
pack
cruising
of
beer.
what's this? Rainier.
Rainier beer.
Rainier beer. Yeah, I
Yeah.
walked around that mountain.
Yeah,
Pint
coming
of
out
whiskey.
And
And-
camp literally is the trail.
I'm
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
on
we
the-
are
Yeah.
on trail right now. Like
Couldn't
sleeping.
be a better camp.
Me and
honestly.
Shepard
Yeah,
had
remember-
done recordings, like literally where we're like, we're on trail. Or actually, we're a little off trail. And then there's like, no, we can touch trail for
Wait, the recorder is on the trail.
This time I'm actually sitting on the trail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all
we
on.
are
on
all
my
on the
air
trail right now.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah.
People are gonna be imagining that we're sitting in a line. That's
Yeah.
not-
Yes,
Oh,
but
no,
really,
well,
we are in a
we-
circle.
So
Yeah.
it's Jafar, Redwood, and Shepherd, and then on the other side, it's Herro and the Jesus.
Yeah.
Just to let you
Yes,
guys.
yes.
You guys
know.
are in the middle.
You guys are in the middle.
All you folks.
to the middle.
Well,
Yeah,
I feel
how
like
does
we're
it
forming
feel?
a circle still. I'm kind of bridging
No,
that
I think
gap,
we
you
have
know,
circles.
and that's one thing that we seem to be really good at is making circles like while loitering anywhere.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Just
Don't let good
It
get.
is just one of those inherent things
Don't
that
let
comes
perfect
with
get in the way
excessive
of good enough.
loitering.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, this is a good circle.
Yeah.
Not a perfect circle. It's a good circle.
No, it doesn't have. There's no such thing as a perfect circle,
I packed out.
scientifically.
I packed out a.
Is it? Isn't that what pi and
That's what Einstein
Yeah,
said.
it's
I don't know.
3.14.
blah, blah,
all
blah,
that.
blah, blah, blah.
3 repeated.
Yeah, yeah,
Something like that.
mathematics.
Yeah.
And we all just
Arithmetic,
recently
yes,
did
simple
the
arithmetic.
enchantments,
Speaking
which
of pie,
we had an amazing
Ah,
time.
dude.
What was your
One-
favorite part, Jesus?
Well, the fact that we carried out
40
beers? 40 beers. We carried out
Or more.
24 eggs, fresh eggs at
Did
that.
have 24.
We had
yeah, that's
bacon.
Right. Yeah.
We
A
had
pound of bacon.
bagels. We had
Women.
women.
We had
We
women
had
there.
Well, hold
Wenches.
on. Some people had women.
All right, yes, you got me. But
Just to
hey,
be-
I mean,
just
there
to-
were women
But
there.
in
as
the,
long as
in the scheme of PCT ratio of guy to girl,
yeah,
fucking we had women.
Yeah.
Like
yes, 5 to 2.
5 to 2, you do not see those numbers unless someone's dating.
Right,
Uh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, the
But anyway, we had a great
couple
time.
boards.
We
You
didn't
guys run into that?
So
actually
your favorite
hike.
part was the 40 beers.
All right, so my favorite
That
part.
was,
I
that was
have
his favorite section for
What was
sure.
your favorite
the
part?
favorite
Day
part for
1,
me
2
was
miles.
when we were all booming,
Snow Lake.
booming
Snow
hard.
Lake for sure.
Snow Lake, and I was swinging on the tree like
Yeah.
no
Oh, dude,
tomorrow.
climbing up. Yeah, climbing up to the pass.
Hey,
Past
I
and
figured
Snow
out
Lake,
your
yeah.
tribe name. It's Eyebrows.
Oh my god!
Let those eyebrows
Yes,
out.
I have to admit, I have this
How
eyebrow
about just
thing.
brows?
Brows.
Yeah,
Brows.
I like that.
But we'll spell it like differently.
All right.
Like BRAUS. Brows.
Brows is what I'm
Brows.
thinking.
Yes,
browser.
yes, brows.
Brows. Yeah.
brows.
We do
Browser,
something
yeah.
cool like smoke blunt with brows.
Brows is socially blast. We don't know what to do. We like 1/2 hour.
2 half hour.
2.5 hour blunt session with brows. Yes, yes.
Every 10 minutes.
Brows
blunt hour.
is boring me.
We did talk
Whoa.
about how we're like beers deep and whiskey deep, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. I
We're-
do.
Is
we're-
there any whiskey left?
No.
Okay. Is
Shepherd
there
at
wine
the-
left?
all out.
Okay. We killed that wine?
We're fucking.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
long ago.
I had a couple glasses.
We're blunt deep with hash in it. You know.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Yeah, I've smoked plenty. Oh, Herro's getting his
Coming out.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, see?
Dude, I got it.
Dude, I've been in my
Crazy,
sleeping
man.
bag for the last hour.
I'm pretty jealous.
Also, I packed out a monkey mask from Dinsmores, which Bloodbank informed me that was there the same year she hiked 3 years ago. So I can only imagine how many fucking dirty faces this thing's
Yeah,
been
but
through.
no one's packed it out.
Right. I've also smoked multiple cigarettes, multiple spliffs, and drank a beer through this mask. Like, whatever germs are there are gone, or I've acquired them.
Yeah.
So it's
Smoke and liquor kills germs.
I've read that.
Yeah.
I read that.
No, there's an article in a very reputable magazine that I read.
Ooh, reputable.
That
Yes,
sounds
reputable.
very promising.
I have to admit, before we totally forget about this.
Yeah, bring up anything we might. Bring to this.
Dinsmores.
Dinsmores.
Dunsmores.
What do you call it?
The
Dinsmores.
Did you
Yes,
just go
the-
finish that
the-
whiskey up over there? You can
Dinsmores
drink it.
is heaven.
It was
Yeah.
truly
It
the
was
best.
a stellar experience.
Yeah, the best trail angel I have met and stayed for weeks.
Yeah.
Forever.
4 weeks.
Yeah, they
Sky
had,
Comish. I spent a week there one night.
Yeah,
they
today
amended
spent a
rules
month there
for us.
1 week.
yeah. We
Dude.
should talk about that.
Yeah.
Today I signed the
Yeah.
register like there, and I had to look back to when we were first there and you guys signed, and
forgot
I'm
to
not
re-sign.
sure if we actually came through on the 1st or not, but I listed that through the 11th. So that was 11 days at Stevens Pass as far as...
Trail mile.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right, yeah. And most...
Sounds just
you know,
about
I'd
right.
say
All
at
just
least
picked up
half,
a
if
lot
not
of
more of that was spent there.
11 days at Stevens
That's
Pass.
a lot of points.
You're killing it.
Yeah,
Like,
where's
What was the message that we
Yeah,
got from
what's Paint's
Mom?
record? I want to know.
What did Mom last say about us?
Yeah, Mom last.
Mm.
Andrea Dins.
Oh, it was, yeah, that
Let
was
me,
sweet.
let
What'd
me
she
see if
say?
I can pull that up real quick.
But
So anyway, we
They-
call them Andrea and Jerry,
yep.
Dinsmores, Dunsmores.
So
Whatever.
basically,
Yeah.
these trail angels instituted a no alcohol policy in anticipation of
the
the
two-
chill hard track.
Well, there's also the Vortex.
The
Voyagers,
Vortex Voyagers
which
as well.
I talked about on this podcast, but I didn't mention Sleeping Beauty, who let me in the group. So I was like, if you're listening and you're in the Vortex Voyagers, like, don't worry, like, I'm part of the group now. I'm like, you guys are part of the Chill Hard Track. Like, this is the merging. Obviously, you guys started after us. And you guys are chilling harder than the Chill Hard Track. But I'm considering myself to be a Vortex Voyager.
We are chilling harder because
So-
they started after us.
This
We've
is
been on here long.
Well,
a little bit
Andrea
different
said.
from the comment that we were looking for earlier.
Yeah,
that
read
this
it.
just pulled up. So Andrea Dinsmore posted a picture of all of us wearing our Dinsmore Hiker Haven PCT shirts.
Our
that they made.
Employees.
Our employee shirts.
Employee
Staff
shirts.
shirts.
that they gave us.
Staff
Yeah.
shirt.
Hold on,
Yeah,
though. She
that's it.
shared
Another one.
This is a different. This is
Can I
a
see
previous
it?
picture.
Yeah,
She's
no,
reposting with new
No,
dialogue.
Is that
this,
Instagram?
no, this is on Facebook.
No, it's Facebook.
So the
All of us.
comment that she had posted under this says,
Mhm.
"This group of sweeties helped us get the yard and shop area ready for the winter.
Okay.
We
first
gave
of all,
them
I
each
gotta
a
stop
Dinsmore
you.
Hiker Haven shirt. Got a bunch of happy campers. Love it." And so then there were some comments going on under that, and then Happy Tutu just commented under this
Happy
just
Tuesday.
recently,
Oh,
like
tell me
18
what-
minutes ago. And she says, Andrea Dinsmore, the shepherd, did me and my husband a huge solid last year on Chinook Pass, along with Kevin Savage, who is Karma.
I love Karma.
Karma's so rad. I
If
love
you're
him.
listening to this, go Google Karma CDT 2015. And his video is so
It's like the
fun.
first thing that'll pop up on YouTube,
So
and
good.
it's great.
7 minutes long. It's worth all 7 minutes.
She said, they helped us when we were in need. It was such a pleasure for me to be able to feed him and his CHT, Chill Hard Track, this year. Hope one day I have the opportunity to repay Kevin Savage, Karma. Hugs to you.
I hope that came in.
But, yeah, the fart.
Oh, I was gonna stop you like in the middle of that. Just to throw it out there, the yard work was all me. I mowed the front yard and I mowed the
You
back
did
yard.
hardcore.
But also, no one had to really ask me. I was like so about it before
Yeah.
she said the yard needed to be mowed. And the mowers in the garage, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna figure out how to run that fucking mower.
That was the best part of all of us. Whatever they asked, we were all willing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing that started it all, this whole thing, as far as the picture and the comment and all of that.
Yeah.
She posted it up and it says, "Gotta love my kids," with a big heart, and it's a picture of all of us
On the
doing
hiker pyramid.
doing the hiker pyramid, trying to hitchhike to their house.
Yeah.
And then she commented under there and said, "Sometimes you get emotionally attached to a hiker. This time it was a group of super souls."
Super soul.
Dude, we
Super
should-
Soul.
Dude.
That's our group.
Actually, this us
Super
five.
Soul.
So us before the Jesus came
Right.
around,
Bathroom boys.
we were the bathroom boys.
Yeah.
On
That's true.
and I think now we might be the
Super
super
Souls.
souls.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like
Probably,
it.
yeah.
That's probably the best compliment. Anyway.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
like,
that's
just chill.
so
So good.
But
I
it's home,
replied
man.
So
back
tight.
to her.
So tight.
I like it. I like that.
I replied
Yeah,
back
super
to her and said, "Sometimes you get emotionally attached to a trail angel. This time it was a couple of super angels.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the unconditional love that you and Jerry showed us. Please contact us, any of us, if you ever need anything. We'll do whatever
Awesome,
we can to help
Shepherd.
whenever."
Shepherd. Thanks,
Yes.
dude. Cheers.
Sorry,
Very
but
well.
I just threw you guys under the bus
No.
as far as like helping.
Helping?
Out.
No,
If you can,
dude.
whatever.
Dude, we're
no,
super
I will
souls.
stop.
We're super souls.
I will
Super
stop.
souls.
Whatever I do.
I was already planning on going back there and living for a while.
Same here, dude.
I was
Let's
just
all
going
meet
back to
there
our
after the
cabin.
trail.
Oh yeah, that's our cabin.
That's
Yeah,
our
man,
cabin,
come on.
dude.
I'm so stoked to go back.
The coolest thing, like, I think I talked about it, and then when me and Shepard recorded separately, we talked about it, and it was kind of like so cool because in the anticipation of us coming, they banned alcohol, and by the time we left, it felt like they wanted us to drink there.
Yeah, they did. They felt like we were their kids, and they're like, just
Yeah.
drink.
Bloodbank brought a fucking 30 rack and like left it out in the front, and then Jerry goes, "I think tonight we should have a fire." And I saw something in the bunkhouse that everybody might like.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess.
The thing that I tried covering up.
Yeah.
I threw the blanket over it.
I saw that. Well, see, and then Bloodbank was like, "It's not gonna matter, and if they do say anything, you know." You
Well,
just
and
say,
she
"Oh,
owned
it's-"
up to it the next day too.
She told me that.
She told them.
And
like,
then he was like, "Oh, I don't care."
yeah.
It turns out it ended up being the first fire of the season too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, it
because
was
of the
good.
fire bans and
Oh,
what.
yeah.
So
I love
we
it,
did
man.
kind of the first and last fire, I'm sure, in the fire pit there.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking sick fire pit.
Oh yeah.
Such a
They
sick.
had outside.
Oh yeah.
Not trying to toot our own horn or anything.
No.
But
We
like,
have
That's
been. We
this
have
is a
been.
platform.
But this
no,
is-
this is exactly
But
what
this
we're
has
doing.
been like an ongoing thing throughout trail, though, where
What?
we've gone to places and people have taken us in and been so overwhelmed by us in a positive way, you know. And
Where else?
It's because we love them and they love us. And it's
Syed
great.
Valley,
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, dude. I talked about that a lot, Ed and Kelly.
Bishop Hostel,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
dude,
yeah,
we have
the
like,
Andersons,
Yeah, I was
Like,
just gonna
yeah, the
speak about
Andersons.
all
that.
these places that
Yeah.
like,
Andersons
this is
talk-
tipping.
Talked to me today on the phone.
No, yeah, you talked to Terry today.
I talked to
You talked to
Terry
Terry?
on the phone,
What did
and
T
she
have to
wanted to thank all the Chill Hard fucking tribe. I don't know if you guys were there, but I was.
Oh, we were-
When the fence got broken from the drunk.
we left the day before that.
All right.
'Cause I
So
heard about that.
anyway,
Somebody-
she called,
Yeah.
and I got to talk to her today, just because Mom was on the phone with her, and she's like, "Here, Terry's on the phone. She
Nice.
wants to talk to you," you know. And I was there when the fence got broken, so I helped fix it. And sure enough, she thanked every single one of us. So.
Wow.
You know, whoever was there, and if you're hearing this, Terry Anderson's thanking you if you were there on the drunk night that
The
a
drunk,
guy
the drunk night at the Andersons.
ran
really?
someone
every night.
next door neighbor's fence over,
Wow.
and we all fixed it, put it
Yeah.
back together.
Oh yeah.
I heard there used to be like at the Softleys there used to be a 2-night maximum,
Mm-hmm.
and then like to counteract that like
Papa Joe said 2-night minimum.
2-night minimum
Right.
at the Andersons. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like when I got to the Andersons, I wasn't 100% sure if like that was where I was supposed to be going. So I was like, maybe I'll just pop in and pop out. And I
was
knew
the
that
same way.
I knew I was meeting up with my friends who were there, but I was not like, I don't know, it wasn't like not on my radar. And when I got to the Oasis, I was alone, and I stayed there 4 hours, and I was alone in the Oasis, so I was
You
kind
were
of
at
like,
the Oasis for 4 hours?
well, dude, there was like sodas and water.
Yeah, no, I know.
And they had food there too when I got there. But so I was at the Oasis for 4 hours alone, kind of waiting for. I think Oso was with me at the time we were coming in, and Oso wasn't there, and Crunch and Jimstone weren't there, and I was like, I don't even know, like the Oasis, like it's weird as fuck. It's gone now because of the Forest Service, but when I was there, I was like, dude, this is like real fucking weird. Like, you know, with the
Under
clown
the
and
bridge?
Oh,
the
the
candy
Forest
cane.
Service removed the Oasis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. The
Yeah.
Oasis
How
cache has
come?
been shut down.
What?
Because they were just saying, like, well, Forest Service in general is like,
The one under the
you
bridge.
can't just leave stuff.
No.
That one that was like tucked off in those
It's to-
trees
it's on
with
the left.
chairs.
It's on the left of the
Oh,
trail.
There's like a
yeah.
perfect little nest.
There's a pink
Yeah.
flamingo there.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
I
a
remember
clown with
that.
a,
Yeah, the
with a
weird
candy
ass
cane.
clown painting.
Yeah.
My nickname was Candy Cane, so I took a like selfie with the Candy Cane clown.
Well,
Dude.
all the weird shit there was brought there from
Yeah.
Girl Scout.
Girl Scout, yeah.
He
And
brought all that stuff.
he also did a lot of weird geocaches on the trail too. But anyway, so yeah, I wasn't sure if like that was where I was supposed to go or not. And then when I showed up, like just everybody was on one. I think it was Cinco de Mayo too.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that was the spot. But they were also really great trailers.
Wait, did you camp with us
Redwood,
the night
can I get a
before?
beer?
Like right at the power lines? It was like buzzing
Yeah.
really hard.
No, I camped with Jimstone and Captain Crunch in a
Oh,
grass
shit.
field at a water.
Oh, that's
right,
right.
we
You guys
left
stopped
you.
there, and that's
Yeah.
where.
We left camp at
Oh,
noon,
yeah,
and that was
true.
like our problem.
Yeah.
And okay, no, it wasn't noon. It was I remember it was 11. I started hiking.
No, I remember that.
I got about 2 miles out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to my homies.
Cheers.
Come fight.
Come back.
PCT 2015.
I left that weird grass spot with Captain Crunch and Jimstone at 10. They were still getting. You know how like long it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
them to pack.
Longest.
So I'm hiking for an hour,
So long.
and then it's noon, and I stumble upon Oso leaving his camp, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah, he
I
was
thought-
camped on like the left-hand side of the trail.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yep.
I remember
was
that.
like, I thought we fucking.
I
chilled
miss
hard.
Oso. Did you get to meet Oso?
Oh, yeah,
Oso was
chill.
really
Yeah,
good.
Oso's awesome. Oso, we love you.
In the
Yeah,
desert.
Oso.
Yeah,
You
Oso's
get
the
fucked up
shit.
and you finish the trail. Glad to see
what'd
that
you
your
do
dad
there?
could be there with you.
I think he
and
finished
hike
with his
you at
dad.
the end.
He
That
did.
was
He
cool.
did.
Yeah.
That's
He
cool,
did.
man.
Yeah.
Because when we met Oso,
Dad.
McDad, yeah.
McDad.
when we met Oso, he had just kind of like left like his dad had just left for his grandpa or uncle's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of weird because he had no trail name. He had been hiking with his dad up until that point.
Yeah,
mile
we met him
400
with his
something.
dad at Ziggy's.
Oh, you met him before.
Yeah.
Are you my McDad?
That's so many
My
different
man,
references.
Bob Close.
I have a piece of toast. There's 5 guys there.
It gets me every time. It like instills me with the same feeling every time. I hear it.
It hurts to laugh.
What?
Oh, fuck
Oh, yeah, the
yeah.
stars
dude,
around
stars,
his snot.
baby.
Yeah.
Ah,
Dude,
so
I'm glad it's cowboy camp.
Weatherbug.com. Let me in, man. Dude, that's awesome.
So yesterday it rained about 30 hours straight of like.
Jerry said it was.
It was
4
the
inches,
worst
but I
rainstorm
don't
they've had
think
in
it was
years.
that much.
I honestly,
It was the worst
it was
rainstorm they've
so-
had in years.
but what did
It
we
was
do?
ridiculous.
We just
It was
chilled.
So
we were hiking
In our
it.
cabin,
No,
in the dark.
we were hitching.
Yeah, the
Yes,
power
we were
went
also
out
hitching,
yesterday.
too.
Actually,
We were
at the
hitching
Dinsmores.
in that
Dude,
shit.
yeah,
But
that
then we
was
got
like
to chill in the
torrential
dark.
rain.
That
But you
The whole
remember
time
how
I
hard
was just
it was
like
coming
picturing
down
my
outside?
I
tent
do remember,
and
dude.
just like dying.
That
It
was
was
crazy.
Yesterday,
You had
Jafar
an
and I
umbrella,
were
I'm just sitting
recording
there like,
the
Dude, but even
podcast, and
yeah, I was in my down
we were
jacket.
sitting under that little like wood shed
well, synthetic.
fencing kind of area
Uh-huh.
behind the laundry room, you know.
Yeah.
And we didn't get
And
hooked up. That was
we were
the
staying
worst
under
part.
there to try
If
and
we
stay
got
dry.
hooked up,
We
it
were
would have
recording
been
the
alright.
I
podcast,
know. All
and then
that.
Perot showed up.
All that for some
We're
Chewbacca.
like, oh, you guys are back. You know, like we weren't expecting that. And he asked us about the power, if the power was out. We were like, dude, we haven't been inside in a while. And then the power ended up going out until about 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And then it kicked back on.
Yeah.
5:15 is what they said.
Yeah, 5, 6, something like that. Yeah.
Jerry was already up.
And right when the power went out, Jafar was like, "Oh, let's just watch a movie."
He had 2 movies.
On the DVD
lined
player.
up.
Just watch them today instead.
Yeah,
I only watched one today.
Yeah, there was 2.
I didn't watch any.
The first thing I did, I was like, "Fuck, the power's out." Well, whatever. And I went to the TV, tried to turn the TV on, no go. And I was like, "Oh, what? Well, I don't know, whatever." That TV was kind of weird anyway, so I was like, "Oh, I'll just try the DVD player, see if that turns on." After the DVD player wouldn't turn on, I was like, "Oh right, fucking power's on." yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's how
But
that works.
in my defense, me and Shepard, like before recording that last one, were like way too high, and even after it was like, I was still pretty. You guys were the ones that discovered the power's out.
Bro.
Because
Oh,
we
yeah.
walked
we
up.
didn't came in.
We were outside.
I just
recording
noticed
the
that
whole time.
nothing was on. I was like, "This seems like a power outage."
Yeah, we had just come
And then I
back.
tried turning on a light, and nothing happened.
Like, oh, the power's off.
Hero and I just had come back from Gold Bar from trying to get pot from the medical place.
Yeah, we mentioned
And they
that.
wouldn't sell it to us.
No,
Because it was medical, not
Because it's
recreational.
medical, not recreational.
Too
they
bad we
wouldn't even
weren't in
take
Oregon.
pity on us.
I did have pity the day before, or a couple days before, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
If you
did.
didn't
in
have
Gold
pity,
Bar.
somebody else had pity.
Yeah.
But
the
then
bouncer.
what happened? Then we went out, waited for a
bouncing
hitch,
out.
and the rain started
Yes.
coming. And it was coming hard. At one point, just like sideways from both directions.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
The
Yeah.
people listening
So weird.
My
at
bank
home,
took pity on me, and she was like, "You're not gonna hitch in this."
Yeah.
It's like,
And we literally had
She
townspeople
just
tell
missed
us
us
this was the
already, dude.
hardest
Yeah.
rainstorm
I mean,
they've had
there was
in
definitely
years.
the pity aspect. I'm
Yeah,
not trying
that
to
was the
like,
catalyst.
negate
That was the
that
catalyst.
was
Yeah, yeah.
40%.
There
But
was
eventually,
that,
we
and there
probably
was
waited
like,
for an hour.
there's
I
everybody
would
else,
say
and I
at
don't wanna
least
leave yet, I
45
wanna go
minutes.
And then
home,
eventually
you know,
this
she had
guy
a lot of
stops
anxiety
and picks
going
us up.
For sure.
A guy in a
Wait, wait,
nice
wait.
truck,
Who picked you
a
up?
nice truck,
Older dude.
Wow.
brand new
Just-
Ford, like,
Was it raining when
You're
he picked
soaking
you
oh,
up?
it was pouring, cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy picks us up. He seems okay. Like, all the way up until
No,
we're...
I almost crushed a huckleberry
Oh,
pie for
you're
his
right.
wife.
You're right.
Getting in the car.
You're right.
I'm
And
so
it kinda-
excited to get in from the rain. I basically go to sit right down like this,
And it almost
boxed, nice bakery
For
cake.
some reason, I thought
And
that
it
was
almost
the
pie.
pisses him off to the point
Yeah.
that the guy doesn't even want to give us a ride. He just kind of looked at
And
her
he's like, "That's
and
for
was
my
like,
wife."
That's
Like,
for my wife.
I'm like, "Whoa, dude! I'm so sorry." You know?
Sorry.
Well,
But yeah, so it was a normal hitch.
Wow. a
Go
normal
ahead.
hitch?
No, no.
So
All the way
until
up until...
we're about back at the Dinsmores, and the guy's like, "Yeah, like right around here." We're like, "Oh, okay." Like he's gonna talk about hitting a deer. He's like, "Right up here in the road." We're like, "Uh-huh."
But it happens to be the area that we're going to get off that we just didn't know
He
just yet.
proceeds to in detail describe seeing a Sasquatch walk across the road.
No, for real. A
Yeah.
tall
A tall,
Sasquatch.
7 feet tall,
Had to
like
be tall.
gray,
Big
and like
squatch.
described his face, like
Yeah.
Every
beard.
detail that
That
you
was
know.
could
before
get.
we killed all the Sam Squanches.
The Sasquatches, yeah.
Seems good.
And then so like it just happened to be where we're getting out. So right as he's finishing the story, we're like, "Yeah,
Oh.
no. So this is our stop,
This
like
is our
right
stop,
here, yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
definitely.
Hey, right here. Stop.
Please
stop.
just stop. Like maybe he did see
I would have
it, but-
entertained that.
Oh,
Do you
sure.
guys believe? I totally believe.
Dude, the
I
way he
believe
was
it's possible,
describing it
but
is
I
like
don't give-
he was
yeah, I don't know.
driving one
I-
late
I
night,
don't know. Dude.
but I feel like he could have been
I haven't
drinking. He could have been drinking that late night.
Oh, the
And-
chances that you're getting a drunk hitch are 1 in 2, like for sure. It's either meth or alcohol.
But anyway, he says he's driving late at night,
I've definitely got
and he
tweaker
sees
hitches.
this from what, 50 to 100 yards?
Yeah.
50 to 100 yards away, and he could see that it's gray and it's about 7 feet tall.
A lot
It's
of hair
really
on the
tall,
face.
a lot of hair on its face, and he can't really see its eyes, but they're dark.
Yeah.
They're really, really dark, and the thing doesn't really look at him at all. It kind of just, just a glance, and it's just kind of looking
Crosses the
straight,
street. Yeah.
straight ahead, just crossing. Doesn't even care that the car's there, and so yeah, he said he saw this whole animal thing, this Sasquatch.
Dude, Karma and I had a Squatch encounter at Snoqualmie Pass last year. Oh yeah.
I don't believe this Sasquatch bullshit.
Oh, I believe it.
I don't.
100%.
I have no idea.
Dude, the forest
what
is so
out there.
dense, you don't know what's out there.
Yeah.
The think that if it's a little bit intelligent, it could easily avoid.
Well, that's like
people.
me saying, do you believe in mermaids?
I do though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. They're yeah.
Think about it.
Why
The
not?
ocean is like we have explored like
They
4% of the ocean. There's got to be mermaids.
They have ancient
Yeah, we
pictures
don't know what's in
of
the
mermaids.
fucking ocean.
Why would
the
they
ocean is
have
the
that?
biggest mystery in this world.
Yeah,
Well, mythologies, you know,
based on.
are sometimes based on things, but they're also mythologies are used to describe
Can we
things that we
talk
don't
about
understand with the language and the way we think every day.
Sure.
So we talk about things in mythological language, so we can't come up with things. It's not what things are, but what they're like, you know. And I think some of that, you know, maybe that could be
Some
the case
things
with
haven't
mermaids.
been
You know, I mean,
explained by
there's
science yet. and
Have,
that's what
have
things
you guys
are.
heard this one theory about mermaids?
I have.
Okay, well,
I have.
all right. Well, let's see. Maybe you have, maybe you
Yes.
haven't.
yes.
Okay, so there's this one theory about mermaids that it used to be old sailors that would like. It was something about fucking, and now okay, this is based on something I heard about something I heard, but it was like either they were like fucking manatees, or it was about manatees. And
I never
was
heard
mermaid.
this.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
no,
This
no,
is
no,
the
no.
Jesus. Never heard this.
Never
sorry.
heard this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The
More
mermaid
details.
proponent
This
has
is
never-
Jafar's
How did they
speculation.
fuck
I heard
the
the whole
manatees?
mermaid thing happened
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
I don't
the
know
whole,
if they caught them
the
or what.
whole, you know, how we, you know, entered the sea and then we came out of the sea. Well, some of us didn't come out of the sea. They stayed in the sea.
Well, I don't know if
Under the sea.
I don't know.
What's the lost city?
Atlantis.
Well,
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Yeah, that's the whole mermaid thing too.
Yeah.
But
But-
this other thing was that it was like no, they were just it was sailors saying that there were mermaids out there, but
Fucking
manatees.
man.
I
Now,
don't know.
Awesome.
The only thing I can see is just a totally different evolutionary process.
Well, they have like
Well,
Yes.
they have posters and pictures of like mermaids that had interacted with people before the time, and they started killing mermaids. So the mermaids just only went deeper into sea. That's what that whole ancient thing and the whole mythological. That's what they're saying in the pictures and stuff. You know, like these pictures have come from like 1600s. You know what I mean? And that's from a time that like
I
you
think it
can't
was
make
just
up shit
old
like
sailors
that.
fucking
You know what I
them.
But
mean?
they
Like,
do. They did make up shit like that. They were
what?
fucking
How
gods.
can you
Well,
make up shit like
Gods,
that?
dude. They made up. Like,
Dude,
Well,
made
I
up
mean-
think about it.
everything.
Being like deprived of fresh water, like nutrients, like all kinds of things, you start tripping, like
yeah, you find yourself
Next thing
fucking
you
a
know, you
manatee.
see
Well, also, wait, but there
And
there
then-
could be a basis for it. I mean, there
Right.
is the
Thank
theory of the ancient astronaut theory,
Thank
which
you.
is basically saying like us ourselves are genetically engineered.
Right.
So if you think we're not the only bipedals that have occupied this
Exactly.
planet,
yeah.
Exactly.
and there's others out there, but yet we're the ones that have survived. You know, so the Neanderthals, the whatever else has existed. I mean, there's been various ones. So if we were genetically engineered, like maybe like split with, you know, the theory is we were split with like a bipedal, like you know, Sasquatch or the Yeti with the aliens. You know, so we have some of their genes, some of like a local bipedal. And so if you think about it, though, why, you know, one of the explanations for why there's so many various races on this planet is that they didn't just try one splice, one try, like, oh, there's humans here. No, they tried various types of humans, various types of things. So you could just expand that further out to mermaids.
Yep.
You know, they're trying Pegasus, you know, like half men, half horse. They're trying, you know, like, that could be an explanation for why there's these crazy mythological things, that maybe these things did actually exist. They were genetically engineered by a species that were so much more advanced than we are.
You'd think we'd
And
find
that they've
evidence
died
of
off.
it,
You would think we'd find evidence, yeah. But you never know, I mean.
But you got to think too. Back in that time,
The
were they
entire surface
really-
of this planet eventually recycles.
was
to
that
the center
something
of the
that
planet.
they were concerned
But
about?
this was at a
making-
time where that would not be recycled. You know?
But was this
Well,
the
how
time
do you
that
know?
they
I mean, it could
needed
be
to
happening
let
forever.
Because
other
we find
people
shit
know
from that
in the
time period.
near future
Terrence McKenna says it's the thing that I think he says the thing that separates us is like our frontal lobe, which is like kind of what he would consider consciousness and like our ability to choose our own decisions, and that's what differs us from. But he also says that's like from the alien part of it. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We'll just let that be a mystery.
With God,
Just all start with
let that go with
merman.
God, you know.
Merman.
God.
I'm a merman.
Give that shit to God. man.
This all started with a hitch from Gold Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering how this all.
What kind of weed did you guys get in Gold Bar?
We
We
didn't
didn't
get
get
any.
any weed.
Yeah.
No, it got started with talking about Sasquatch.
No.
We got on to mermaids.
Right, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
these are good topics that we
Oh, for
def-
sure. We should
def-
probably cover this a little bit more in depth.
With the followers on these topics, because they need to know if they don't.
Mermaids.
Don't know.
Now you know.
Uh,
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I agree, and I believe in everything.
Yeah.
I agree.
Everything's on the table and everything's off.
No.
What
on.
is the table?
There is no table.
There's only a floor.
A dirt floor. We're
Yeah.
on trail.
There's a bunch of dirt. That's what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like just because you don't find evidence for something doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah,
Doesn't exist.
Oh no, I agree. Like,
And-
but it's just
Yeah.
you would think
Yeah.
because we find so much other shit.
It's the only thing that makes us, like double think about something though.
We also miss a lot too.
For sure,
And we don't know what you don't know.
for sure. But
I
don't
think like the
Just
more
like this
you,
trail.
the more you don't know.
We
is
wouldn't
the
have
one.
done this trail unless we did it.
The more you know, the more you don't know for me. Like,
You can read
every time I
about
learn
something,
something, it just leads to more questions.
Right.
Yeah.
More than that one question, so it like
that's the
multiplies it.
conundrum of
Yeah.
knowledge.
Right. Kenosis. To Kano.
The more I understand about the human race, the less I comprehend about our purpose and place. Ooh, that's a good Naka quote. It's from Naka. I can't.
It's from Naka.
It's from Naka. I can't take it for myself.
We quit the
Yeah.
job and I quit the job and work for ourselves on the mountaintop.
I'll loop that song in here somewhere.
Yes, major points for that song.
Yeah, points for that song. Points for Naka.
How
Points
did
for
I get
Scorch.
here?
Shepard's gonna cowboy camp directly on the trail.
Well, I'm gonna.
No, you are on the trail, dude.
No, I'm gonna move a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Because it'll
Not
be
like
more
you,
flat.
dude. I'm pretty
It's so
sure,
beautiful
like,
out.
Yeah, it's
No,
Redwood's
it's not gonna rain
10
until we get to Canada.
I'm pretty sure Redwood's
It's
tent
downhill,
is
too.
on the
It's
trail.
downhill. Yeah, it's gonna be chill.
It's gonna be downhill and blue skies to camp.
Yeah.
Downhill sucks.
Yeah, I'm not really fancy on
Uphill
downhill.
sucks too, though.
Yeah.
I like it all.
60 pounds of food.
I don't know, downhill just kills me on my knees, man.
I want to just go downhill, please.
It's
No
all,
uphill.
it's all the same. to me.
I don't really
Sometimes
know.
it's fun to run downhill.
Yes.
When you're one day of
When you're
food.
packing
Yeah.
it like
Yeah, when you
anything,
can.
and-
It's like quick feet.
Well, honestly, it's probably better for you because you're just going with your momentum and your joints are taking less
Yeah.
stress.
Yeah.
You go into ninja mode.
The most
Ninja mode. That's right.
the most I ran downhill was at that Trail Magic that Shepard buddy provided at, was it like Silverwood Lake?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember like for a solid couple hours we were just running.
Dude, because I was just behind you guys and I was booking it, and I was like, how am I not catching these guys?
You're
Like, I was literally
Everybody's
running.
dude.
I didn't realize that you guys also
I
had
was-
that brilliant
I was
idea.
kind of in the front, and I'd gotten the message from Troy on the DeLorme that he was for sure going to meet us. And so I looked back at everyone, and I was like, pizza and beer at, like, Silverwood Lake or whatever. And we all just fucking hauled ass from there.
Oh, that's when we started singing that when you get in Star Power in Mario.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like the
uh-huh.
circus song.
It
but
kind of is.
We like all activated Star Power and we're invincible and
Yeah.
just started running downhill.
Dude, I love when when passing other people while you're doing that.
Oh,
Because they see you and they're like, what the?
They're struggling.
Like, they're struggling. You have a pack on and you're running.
And
you
you
pass
by somebody?
Yeah.
They're like, what?
You see their faces and they're
It's-
shaking
it's
their
so
like
funny.
head and they're just like, no. Like, what?
We're at elevation.
They ask you if everything's okay.
Yeah, like,
Are you okay?
Is there something I should know about?
Is there
what's
something
happening?
wrong?
yeah.
That's great. I love when that shit happens.
Is there a bear behind me?
We saw a bear in the enchantments.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
We saw goats.
We did see those two goats came. Like,
Yeah, I got a video
The-
of them.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
I was
saw
pretty
that?
tempted to.
Watched it.
Yeah,
help
we
them.
saw a
didn't know
bear.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bloodbank was
pelted
like
them, it
out
would've been
front.
much
She
cooler.
stopped.
She
and
was kind
like,
of scared.
She was like, "There was a fucking bear."
No,
She
wasn't
was scared. You
She
could
was-
tell by her facial
She
expression.
was like,
No, that's not.
She's
scared
like,
blood.
oh my god, it's a bear.
No, it was like, hey, did you guys see that too?
"We were glad to see it."
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets all wide-eyed for more things than straight.
My cape is fucking
Dude, quilts are the shit, man.
quilts.
Yeah. Like,
quilts are
just
cool.
the way that it turns into a full body blanket while sitting here and just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my sleeping bag.
Yeah, I'm in my sleep
I'm
bag
doing
and
great.
I pretty much look the same. as
It's
you,
not a
you know?
quilt.
I know, I don't know. I
just
love
looked at
Oh man,
quilts,
I'm
dude.
just
I don't
I'm
know.
pro quilt.
Mine
Hey,
has this
you
so
can
many
pro
I
quilt.
did mummy bags for a long
How many beers are
time.
left?
One.
Just one beer.
There's right there.
Yes. Somebody can
Here,
have it.
the Jesus.
I've had plenty.
No, could you hand that
Here,
there? There you
Cool.
go.
Thanks.
I've had plenty of mummy bags, like
You
I
gonna
mean
have that?
exclusively up until this year, really.
Probably not. You go for it.
And I'd
Yeah.
say that's 15 years of off and on solid backpacking, and always had a mummy bag. And since I switched to the quilt, like, it's just been so much better for me personally. You know, and
For sure.
it's definitely a personal choice, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, you can get used to anything.
it's a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
it's different than a mummy
Funny,
bag,
yeah.
but it's
Used to.
not any worse than a mummy bag for
Yeah.
sure.
No.
I think I
Just
poured
it's
these
kind
up.
of just more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Efficient for the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have multiple of everything. Like
Oh,
warm quilt,
Yeah.
cold quilt,
If I had
warm
millions of dollars,
sleeping bag,
I would
cold
only
sleeping
buy
bag.
it after
yeah,
gotta-
synthetic of all that.
plane tickets.
plane tickets and outdoor gear.
Plane tickets and outdoor gear.
Yep, those are two great things.
And harems.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I would purchase multiple hands.
Well, I mean, once you get the
Yo,
plane
by the way,
tickets and
where we're
gear-
going in Utah is like just south of the center of polygamy in the United States.
This is what I've been talking about.
So you see people like walking around in like gowns and bonnets and shit in Walmart.
Oh, and they wear the full like length dresses.
Yeah,
And the women always have like really long hair.
yeah. It's like Amish but weirder.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll get like a handful of wives when we're in Utah.
Full of Yeah. That's funny.
I shall lead them to the goat rock.
Yes. Seriously, man.
And then
that's-
there I shall start my kingdom.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for my throne hut.
I think
It's
I
gonna be a
might.
throne and a hut.
I think I might ditch my beanie.
I'll take
Dude,
it.
this
I just lost mine.
this
I will have it
monkey
for
mask
me.
is like a better beanie than I could have ever imagined. The faux fur on this monkey mask is like keeping
Then
me
you pull it
so
over.
Yeah, it's
for
a good like
maximum
vaporberry
warmth.
too.
It'll be good in like, you know, windy, cold conditions.
Yeah, you just wear the mask and you're good.
Or if we see Southbounders, I mean, there's no Southbounders, but like at this point, it's just like,
Or anyone at all.
yeah, I'm gonna just fucking wear the mask.
Yeah, dude, I checked the boxes that were sitting in the garage at the Dinsmores, and I think there were about 6 maybe that were there, which is like
No.
half what it was before. And the most recent ETA was sometime in early mid-September.
Yeah.
So nobody has sent a box that's been intentionally coming through it this time.
Oh yeah, and the mom and dad at the Dinsmores gave us a couple boxes that got people like kind of either said like we missed our box already, we're done, or we're not hiking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
They saved it for us.
They saved it for us because when we did leave, I don't think they were really expecting us to leave, but I also don't think they were expecting us to come back. And then I know before we started hiking, I was like, oh, we're going to do the enchantments, so we're definitely going to come back before we get on trail. So
Yeah, you had made a comment towards her on Facebook.
Yeah. When I left, I was like, see you soon, Mom.
I know, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I missed them already.
Yeah. We love us. We love them.
What do you got, Jesus?
I got some Teddy Grahams. Oh yeah,
I thought those were
because I don't fuck around.
Cracklins.
Here you go. Take a handful, pass them around.
Ooh, we got the chocolate. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Chocolate Teddy Grahams.
Yeah, here, just take the bag.
Yeah.
It's about to rip.
It is already
Thank you to the
ripping.
Jesus. Big ups, player.
Guys, this is our cabin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the world.
World or seven.
Cabin.
World cabin.
Oh wow. This is gonna make for a great podcast.
Yeah.
Hell
A
yeah.
mouthful of chocolate Teddy Grahams.
Dude, if I ever get
I'm on my AirPad and my
asked by a police officer, like, if I'm staying somewhere, you know, just cowboying, stealthing, be like, sir, what do you do? I'll be like, I booked this on reserveamerica.com, sir.
I have a permit.
I have a permit for it.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
I have a long distance permit. I'm good.
Please, you're
From 2
impeding
years
my
ago.
freedom.
Tell me you're resupplying.
Tell me you've been section hiking the PCT since
Yeah, you're in like fucking like
97.
New York.
New York. Mmm.
These are fucking great.
Yeah, Teddy
Thank
Grahams
you.
are
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, man. I know a lot.
You want
when
more?
Yeah.
More Teddy Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha.
Oh, Hempwick.
I am the walrus.
So, I learned on the Teddy Grahams on the AT that they truly are amazing. Here you go.
Still going?
And I can't help myself, but on the PCT once in a while, I'll make sure that in my packages I have Teddy Grahams or Oreos, baby.
Yeah, you gotta have Oreos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oreos are expensive.
They are. But once in a great while, it's great to have
I think
a
I've
double
spilled it.
stuffed Oreo, man.
No, you gotta, no, ew.
What? I think you could
Double
triple stuff.
Oh, you're right. You're
I
right.
just want the outside of Oreos.
I'm
That's
with
all
you.
Dude,
I
I
on
like
that
the
one,
single stuff. I think that's a great
You know,
ratio.
Flacco though, he's
Thank
he's
you,
all
dude.
about the stuffing. He's a guy that he bought triple stuffed Oreos.
That's crazy.
in
Double
Ashland.
stuff is what I get, but triple stuff
I'm
is where it's
original.
at.
I'm original
where it's
all
at.
the way.
Hell no.
I don't think you can. I can't even like have an original Oreo. I mean, I could if it was here, I'd eat it. But like, I wouldn't buy regular stuff.
I enjoy the fudge covered Oreos. The real
Dude,
nice, like white
I did
fudge.
not like those. I think they needed
I
the
think they
other...
could have done them better.
I've
like
never
cheap
had them.
chocolate.
No, well, it was that and the fact that they only had one of the cookie layers.
Right.
If they put both in, it would be fucking
Oh, is
awesome.
Open Fish?
Yeah.
They honestly can go with Reese's.
Whoa.
Why don't
Yes,
they just sell the
right?
like cookie?
They could
No.
go with.
I remember I made at home these ice cream cookie sandwiches with like home baked chocolate chip cookies, cookie dough ice cream, and then I covered it in
Hell yeah.
white chocolate fudge and froze it.
Fuck, what's the
Oh my
occasion?
god. I don't know. I was just like 12.
Don't.
I just thought it was a really good idea. I was like, Ma, we're getting all this ingredients, and I'm doing this. She's like, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was. I think I had to learn, like, you don't put the ice cream on, like, hot cookies. I had to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a metaphor for life.
Yeah. Don't put ice cream on hot cookies.
And that's the way the cookie comes.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Hot brownie, a la mode.
We're not even a day out of town. We're not a mile out of town.
We're a mile out of town.
No, honestly, I think we're like 0.5. I don't think we made it a mile.
It doesn't seem like we walked.
Well, anyway, we hitched like 20 miles. So
Yeah.
that counts.
Dude, yeah, my route 2 miles are out of control.
Yeah. Highway 2's been good to us.
We've been across this pass a lot.
I took 2 showers today.
I took one shower.
Yeah, I took a shower today. Nice.
Oh yeah,
Totally-
I think
totally
we all
jerked
took
off.
double showers, man.
I didn't.
What? You stinky bastard.
I also survived an aneurysm today. Like,
Yes, you did.
Bro
Yeah.
almost died. At the
Yes.
Dinsmores.
oh my god.
He almost ended his through hike at the Dinsmores.
Yeah.
It was
Pretty
literally
bad, yeah.
rolling on the ground.
Uh-huh.
In the grass.
That was one of the most painful things I've ever been through.
You definitely looked like you were in pain, bro.
Yeah. You didn't look very good. Jerry had a heart attack a week before. And you were like, he was taking pity on you.
Yeah, when someone who's had a heart attack looks at you and goes, "Oh damn."
After that guy, you're not doing good.
His wife, Andrea, was so concerned. She was like, do I need to call 911 for him? Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank God. Did you guys say no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course I
okay.
did.
I was
Then
like,
was
I
telling
know.
me-
that's when she asked me, she's like, okay, does he need ibuprofen or
Yeah.
hydrocodone?
Yeah.
I was like, give them both.
No, I
please."
just was like, I have to lay down I have to lay down where I am. Like, I just had to.
I was like, give me both drugs, please. And she did.
Like a good
She was
mom.
like, she was telling me, she's all, make sure you need to watch after your friend there. Like, you need to take care of him. Like, his neck and his spine, you know, this, that, and the other, it's all messed up. Like, you should give him a massage, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out it was a massage.
You guys
that
can
caused all
definitely
of
give me a massage. You should listen to Ma. You guys really need to listen to Ma.
You guys can definitely give them a shot. I'm still hurting here.
Yes.
If anything,
You
I
just
think
didn't
touching
get it all
him might
out.
be worse.
Yeah, I know. Any stimulation at all.
Wow. I'm good on me.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I had like a lot of telegrams.
Oh shoot! You got feet on the bottom of your feet.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
That was hilarious.
Oh my god! You got feet on the bottom of your feet.
Literally, I swear this druggy girl came up to the row. There, she was riding a 20-inch fucking bicycle that she probably stole. And she's like, oh my god, you got feet on the bottom of your feet. I like that.
Gold Bar?
Gold bar, yeah.
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 If you're in Gold Bar, Washington.
She looks kind of like
And
a
you're wearing ultras. Watch out.
yeah. She looks like 18-year-old like tweaker. Like
Yeah.
like, she's working her way. And she's not there yet. But
Yeah.
she's getting there.
Yeah, I agree with her.
18-year-old tweaker is in 18 years of age, or she's been tweaking for years?
Well, she
No.
was with a 40-year-old at least, and like she was following him around. Like, so I'm pretty sure she was just following the drugs around. You know, a tweaker, as a tweaker would do.
She,
She had a horn on her bike that went tweak tweak tweak.
That was funny. You're funny. I like you.
I like your boy.
You sure
I feel like you've been holding on to that ever
No, I
since that.
literally just came into my head.
and she only hears that when her mom is saying, like, you need to clean your act up.
Oh, it hurts to laugh.
Oh, I almost just ate a stick thinking of the teddygram.
We were so excited for it.
But
Too.
I found the real one. I found the real
Where's
one.
the stick?
Oh no.
Where's the teddy girl?
He
put
ate it. He just ate
I
it.
put it down.
Snapchat. Thanks for the teddy girl.
Oh, here it
Steve.
is.
That
Hell
was-
yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, I didn't even know I needed
Dude, your
them
pack is
until
now 59 1/4 pounds.
You're welcome.
We're so close to town, I plan on smoking all the real world cigarettes that I have.
And then going back to get more.
That logic is like
Terrible. You're never gonna make it.
how have you made it this far?
So
By going back to get more?
Exactly. That's how.
the whole "you're not gonna make it" quote, like, I feel like the best quote that I came up with is "you already made it."
Well,
It's great because it's like you don't even have to hike anymore. Right? You've already made it.
I had
Yeah, that guy
some
who
of
was
us
shaking his
already
head
haven't
disapproving
made it,
of where we were at the Dinsmores.
Yeah.
And we're just like, we already made it.
Well, he
What
saw
do
us a week ago. That was the thing.
Oh, yeah,
also
well, whatever.
glider
It's like
is
you
glider and
No, we
glider
just
is
crushed the
glider.
enchantments.
Yeah.
Or like barely hiked into it over the course of 5 days.
I talked
when we
about
could have
that.
finished it.
Yeah, I talked about that in the recording. I was like, we sort of did the enchantments, but like in the way we would have done it, and like, you know, we didn't do many miles, but like it also left a lot up for like future. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we were all like, oh, we want
No,
to.
it was just enough to like entice
I want
us.
to come back to this.
All of us, yeah.
All of us.
But we did
Yeah.
do the whole Wonderland.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
did.
fucking
That we did,
crushed
dude. We
the
killed
Wonderland.
We
one.
skipped 0 miles.
0 miles.
There was no
No
skipping.
opportunity to skip.
We amended our permit a couple of times, but that's to be expected.
Oh,
Oh, the permit was.
the permit was fucked. 24-mile day on the Wonderland.
Yeah. That's like a 60 on the PCT.
Yeah. That's like doing 100 miles without stopping.
It's like a 60.
Who planned that?
We actually got the permit from
Our friend,
Lady Hawk, or fuck, not
Lady
Hawk,
Luck.
Lady Luck and Beacon.
Yeah.
And they'd kind of already had the permit set up. But luckily, getting it amended was so easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
That was
They were
pretty rad.
super helpful.
Yeah, they were just like,
Yeah,
oh,
they were actually actively helpful.
They were like,
I think
we're
we
just-
all fist bumped at that.
Yeah,
Fist
we
bumped
did.
That guy.
we
really,
got
yes.
like we totally.
You're so good, dude.
When he was like, "Where'd you camp last night?" We're like, "Oh, here." He was like, "Oh, you were supposed to be at what you call?" I was like, "Yeah, no, we couldn't make it." But what had really happened was that we thought we could resupply at Longmire, and that was not a thing. And then those two girls were like, "Oh, you can camp here for free," and "Oh, there's a hiker box."
And then we were like, oh, wow.
"Oh," and they were like, "Yeah, there was like mountain houses in the top."
Dude, I really wanted to find those girls. I'm pretty sure I fell in love with them. One of them while
One
on the
of
porch.
them.
And then Redwood's like, I want the other one.
I'm having the other one.
How are we all having them? How do we share the two of them?
Yeah, we all fell in love with those two girls.
Does anyone else have the problem that they fall in love with every girl?
I
That's
do.
just me.
That's me.
Like, every girl. I'm
That's
just like,
me.
every girl.
Are
I
you
can't
saying
help it.
you're
Every
the girl
girl.
of the group? Is
I
that
just,
your thing?
I want to love
But
them
as
all.
long
You're
as
the
I'm
cocky of
getting
the
it,
group?
I'm happy.
Yeah. No, I just want to love them all.
Oh, yeah.
Literally just love them all.
That's your
Well,
father.
that's what it's all about, man.
I definitely want to just fuck them all. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
that's
about
part
him,
of the loving, man.
But like the whole fucking for me is
Yeah.
just fucking.
It's one and the same.
Really?
Can you fuck something you love?
Yes.
No.
No, you make love to it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
Thank
But
you.
I think you could
sometimes
do
when
that.
you're
Thank
making
you,
love, are
Jafar.
you fucking?
I think you should consult Brad Pitt.
If you love,
Let's call Brad on this. Yo,
Joe,
Brad.
Joe Black? What do you got on this?
if you love her, you eat that ass.
Eat the whole,
Yeah.
eat the
Yeah.
whole
You
ass.
love
Eat the
her.
whole ass.
You eat that ass. Yeah.
Yes.
The whole
I
ass.
agree.
Thanks, Boomer. The inspiring quote and Cash 22 trail journal.
At the rat's nest.
Whatever. Dude, there was something dead.
Yeah,
And
rats
Oh, was it rats?
lived there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like a rat that had a foot-long tail
Football.
at Cache 22 right when I was about to bed down. And I was like, okay.
$5.
$5 foot long.
Who's up
Oh,
there?
yeah.
I was going to, but I just went across the street.
We didn't sleep there, but we met the guy who was caching it, and he was like, not a mute, like he wasn't deaf, but he was like he was on some vow of silence.
Uh-huh.
So he kind of came up to us and gestured like, he pointed at himself, me, and then did the zipper over the mouth, like
Right.
me.
I've done that.
no
I've had
talk-
to do that.
Me,
Yeah.
no talking. And then
Quite often.
someone said that he did crack and they heard a word come out of him like later in the day. I left because I was just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm like too stoned. second lunch made a crazy ass bong out of one of those giant water bottles.
Yeah.
And apparently that guy slack packed like 4 or 5 people up, Lucky and a few other people.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying like when they were trying to get the logistics down of him like slack packing him to the next road, you know, he doesn't talk, so like it would have been a little hard. But as they were kind of like hashing out the idea, he was just sitting there, and he was smoking with us too. He was a real cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they said like he kind of like looked at them and he was like, "All right," and he was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said all." Like he fucked
Right,
up and said
right.
"all right." So
Right.
I don't know if they broke his vow of silence or what his thing was, but he was definitely on some sort of a vow.
Spiritual something.
I don't know what it was, but Cache 22 was well stocked. So thanks to that dude.
I've tried 2 days of silence on trail. First day I made it to 11 o'clock and broke it, commenting on how cold water was that Touche was about to
Like to yourself.
swim across. Just to like,
Oh,
out loud, but
Yeah,
like
you were
no, you know, we were kind of looking at the lake, looking at him about to jump in. I was just like, the water's so cold, and I was like, ah, fuck. And then the next time I made it to 6 p.m. and the same thing happened, except this time I was in a hot spring, and I was sitting in it, enjoying it, super relaxed, and I was just like, oh, the water's hot. Like, what? Of course, I pointed out completely obvious things, and that's what broke my silence. And it's because like I got relaxed, like in the moments.
What hot
And it's
spring?
like with a day of silence, you need to be constantly with intention of not talking. You know, that's what it is. It's complete focus.
What hot spring broke you?
Ivabella, I was at Ivabella.
Hey,
That was the night before I saw it. We met back up with you guys.
everybody's trash going here,
Okay.
please.
I only have one.
Well, wait, other trash too.
I'm thinking
In the
like
morning, I can
before-
take it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the morning there's like a trash can like not too far from where we're camped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that on top of your podcast?
Oh, it's like a wind cover. I don't need it right now, but sometimes it helps with like the thermarest and the
It's a
random
Smurf wig.
I was just gonna say it looks like a small head of hair.
Yeah.
Like a small gorilla.
Yeah.
It looks like your fucking podcast has an
Just
old
like
man
a little person.
wig. Grandpa Joe over here.
That's why we're all talking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a person.
It is a person. There's someone inside listening.
Someone somewhere maybe listening.
Touche
to it.
has definitely like pulled that thing directly to his face, and he was like, "Hey, is anyone in there? Who's listening?" Like, that's not how it works, man. Not at all.
No.
You'll understand someday.
In Lone Pine, I remember that one recording on a fucking picnic table, and I kept being like, he would grab it and then drop it, and every time it falls onto the table, it makes like a crazy clunk, and there's just nothing you can do. Like the levels go out of control, and I'd be like, so like in the middle of like, with it maybe like 4 times within 10 minutes, I'm like, God damn it, stop! Because he'll grab it and it would just slam on the table there. And that was like a shitty recording too on 395 basically, which is like
Yeah.
a fucking highway. And 18-wheelers galore.
Yeah, I had a lot of 395 miles too.
Touche, did he finish? Is he, like, what's going on?
I think he got off
He got
somewhere in Oregon.
off. Basically, he finished in Washington.
and then got off, I think.
Yeah, he skipped up to meet a girl.
He skipped up and then stopped hiking. So.
Oh, I remember Touche. I met Touche in
You would have met him in Ashland.
Ashland
'Cause
is
he
where I
came-
met Touche.
Yeah, he came.
There
I-
for a month.
Well, I called him when I got to Ashland, and I was like, "Hey, man, I heard you're living in Ashland now." He's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Oh, everyone's telling me you're a homeless person in Ashland. Like, they said you basically live here." He's like, "No, I'm in Redford, which is like 8 miles away or whatever." And he was apparently like camped for like 4 days off of this side of the highway, and he was like, he knew I was in Ashland, and I told him I'd be there a couple days, so he hitched back from Medford.
Medford.
And yeah, he called me up like that night and was like, "Hey, where are you?" Like, I'm at I'm in Ashland, like I'm downtown. I was like, oh fuck, where are you? That's when.
Were you in town?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
With fire crew.
I'd called him too, yeah, and I was like, where are you, man? And then, and he was the person that told us, like, oh yeah, when we came through Ashland, we stayed with Caboose. And then,
Oh, so did we. What the fuck?
oh, you stayed with Caboose?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Caboose
so,
was Caboose was cool as fuck. She just found us in some random bar.
That was
Bought us all
like,
drinks. And then
so like
we just all
how she
slept
found
with
us.
so we had about 15 people stay in her yard, and the cops got called like the day that me and Jesus, I think Jesus wasn't there. Or we
No.
Yeah, so we had all left because we were like, nah, let's just get like a room for this night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, one of the neighbors had called the cops, and they were like, oh, there's a shit ton of people like not loitering, like squatting basically at this house. The cops came and they're like, hey, we got reports that, you know, you guys are just like fucking camping here. Like, do you know the person that lives here? And they were like, yeah, we've been hiking with her, you know, she's whatever. And I had even met her a couple times with Squatch Hunter, her boyfriend, or the dude she was hiking with or whatever. And it was funny because the cop doesn't know what a PCT is, and he definitely doesn't know what a trail name is.
Yeah, so we're just bummed.
So when he was like, what's her name? They were like, it's Caboose. And they were like, well, that's her trail name. What's her real name? The cop says, not one person knows. You know? Like, even me, to this point, I have no idea what her name is.
No.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened, but apparently nothing bad happened. Ashland was kind of just like one of those places.
And you got the ticket, so it's not like you loved Ashland at all.
No, at that point, I was like, I
Fuck
was
yeah.
ready to get out of Ashland.
Yeah. I remember you being like, dude, I just need to get out of here.
Yep. And I had all these like high hopes for Oregon. That was a weird way to start Oregon.
Yeah.
So it was like, Oregon, legal weed. It's going to be fucking great going through here.
I had such a hard time getting weed in Oregon.
Yeah?
Such a hard
What?
time, yeah.
Dude,
Dude, in Ashland, I went in Ashland and like, I waited kind of later in the day and finally got to the grocery store. Was trying to get some weed there, and ended up just smoking with these two dudes. And then finally, I had to walk all the way across town to the fucking hiking store. I didn't realize how far it was, but the gear shop. And I get there right
I've
before
made
it
that walk.
closes.
I made that walk like 10 times.
And all I was doing was I had to get a new water filter. Mine was just crap. And when I got out the store, my card had been denied. So I was like, oh, I got to transfer money over. And I'm sitting there, like, you know, on my phone, messing with that. And the last couple that was in the store, like, they locked the door behind them. They came out of the store and just started chatting me up. They knew I was a PCT hiker and just gave me a ride all the way back to Callahan's.
Nice.
And I was just like,
Nice.
yeah. And it wasn't a direct shot for them. It was just like out of their way. Back the way they had come. They were going on forward. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I did get the ticket, I was hanging out with like travelers and shit, so I don't think they thought I was like a hiker or anything. That's part of it too.
Mm.
So,
But I didn't have time to explore Ashland further for more.
that wouldn't have been the place to get it anyway.
No.
But Oregon in general, I think would have been strong.
I thought Ashland was the place to get it.
No, Ashland is like a fucking yuppie town full of people who like not pretend, but they're the type of people that like wear Merrells year round and
Right.
have never been on a trail.
Right.
They like day hike 3 times a year, and
Yep.
they fully commit to buying the Subaru and having
Yeah.
Merrells in Patagonia.
And young kids going to the clubs at night. You know, like that kind of shit.
But I mean, Ashland was cool. Other than that ticket really made me sour. Which, like, anyone listening to this has heard me do my rant, which was funny. Like when the 3 days or whatever it was after Ashland that I recorded, I was just kind of like, still like super butthurt about the ticket, and I'd be like, "Fucking cops and the yuppies in Ashland," and then I was like, "No, Ashland's cool. I shouldn't be dogging on it." And then I was like,
Yeah, great
"No,
job.
but
fucking
fuck
cops
them."
I mean, cops and yuppies are shitty anyway.
Yeah, dude, you gotta separate yourself from the
Dude, I've had people call me a yuppie before.
Yeah?
When they're pissed off, like, you fucking, like, ex-girlfriend yelling, screaming at me. Drunken, belligerent, drunken, and calling me a yuppie. And I'm like, what does that even fucking mean?
Yeah, like,
why?
you don't hurt my feelings, Cindy.
I need to know what it means. Like,
Yeah, alright, I'm a yuppie.
Yeah, I guess I'm a yuppie.
Whatever, yuppies are cool.
People normally call me a hippie, so I don't know. I'm a yuppie hippie, I guess.
Damn right, I'm a fucking hippie.
I'm a yippie.
One time in San One time in San Francisco, I was out with a group of like 5 or 6 guys, and we had this thing that we called Boys Night. On like Thursday night, we'd all go on like pub crawl, and we'd go on bikes though. It's like a bike pub crawl, and we'd always at this one spot. It was kind of like our central location, and they had like $1 shots of whiskey that was some watered down shitty whiskey, but you know, it was considered college night, and none of us were in college, but we'd go there for the cheap drinks, and then across the street was a 24-hour Jack in the Box, and we'd go into this Jack in the Box at 2 in the morning on a Thursday night. And in San Francisco, there's a big most of San Francisco is like tech and new kind of like tech people and shit. And anyway, this guy, we're kind of rowdy, but this group of people is like the nicest dudes ever, and like just so respectable and shit. And anyway, we're standing in line and we're waiting, and this guy's like, "Hey, you need to show these girls some respect." And we were like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, the girls that work here, we're in line, and we haven't even placed an order. Like, what is he talking about?" And, I think one person stepped up to the guy, because we were like, this doesn't make sense. Like, are we all going to have to fight one guy? Like, we didn't even understand why he was coming at us. And so, I think one person kind of, stepped up and was like, "Hey, dude, what are you talking? You're fucking being weird." And he pulls out a knife, and he, he's got this knife out in a Jack in the Box as we're in line. And he's like... And then we all kind of put our hands up whoa. Everybody took a step back for sure and was like, "What?" Whoa. And he was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought. You fucking techies." And none of us work in the tech industry, so we kind of thought it was funny. And then 30 seconds after him pulling out the knife and having it out for a second, he just walked out the front door and kept walking. And we all stayed in line and then placed our orders and ate. It didn't faze us, but we were also asking the people behind the registers do you guys normally call the cops in this situation, or is there a video camera? How does this normally get taken care of? And they were so not fazed by it that it made us calm too. But yeah, we got called techies, and we were we're not. We're the opposite of that. Interesting. There's a big anti-tech movement in
Apparently,
San Francisco.
I'm sure.
Yeah, took our jobs.
They took our jobs.
Well, I think I'm off.
I got my tent stolen.
Oh, yeah.
I talked about that.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about you getting
Points for that.
your tent stolen and fucking.
Did you talk about how it felt like someone actually physically stole my home?
No, you could elaborate on that, but
Yeah, no, that's about it.
Someone-
Just the feeling of someone taking your home.
yeah, the place that
Which
you
is
live.
ironically what I did for a living. So
Taking people's
it's
homes.
full circle, and that's pretty much it.
Bad karma. You can look at it any way you want, but
Well, those people didn't pay their bills. So.
exactly. You paid your bill
Right.
to be out here.
All right, I think I'm gonna turn this one off, guys.
Well, it's another
Hey.
one. How long
Yeah,
have
it's
you been doing it?
running a while.
A while.
Running at a while.
Alright, then.
Normally, I always say I feel like I have nothing else to talk about. But
You just said it. Boom.
Alright, boom.
Nailed it.
boom, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, and then we
What do we
follow
call
up with
it
some
again?
I love yous and goodbyes and good nights and salutations and stuff
Till
like
next
that.
time on the Terrestrial Nomad.
Exactly. All right. I'll record at another date later. We'll put this all in perspective.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're doing some double headers.
Some talking. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.